It's January 15th. The air temperature is 19 degrees Fahrenheit. The U.S. Geological Survey reports that the river water temperature is 35 degrees. There are things to be found, so let's get started. River depth at Independence is about 3 feet 8 inches. So it's a little higher than normal here, but should be manageable. Okay, first item is a soda. I want to say it's a more modern Coca-Cola bottle, but we'll go under and check it out. Well, it's not a Coca-Cola. It does have some design on it. It's not embossed. It's probably from the 40s or somewhere around there. Keep looking. All right, that's going to be the first marble of 2022. Let's get it. Just hooked another empty wallet. I find it hard to believe that whoever lost this took everything out of it before the currents removed all the cards, so it's likely somebody stole this wallet and then chucked it in the river. There's a pretty interesting applied color label or ACL bottle right below me here. It looks intact and it says Cyclo. Let's see what this is. Well, I put my arm in a little too deep with my extended gloves, and a little bit of water got in there, so I'm gonna have to go change them out. It is pretty cold. You can see the ice crystallizing on the hip waders here, but it's honestly not that bad if you got layers and you're wearing nice dry clothes. We'll come back out in a few minutes and see what else there is. This little blue marble was very difficult to recover. It was laying on quicksand, so I had to stand off to the side. The water was a little bit deeper there, and I had to make sure that it wouldn't get into my extended gloves. Every time I tried to pick it up, either the current would blow it out of my hand or it would try to sink in the sediment. I tried scooping it up with the digging tool, but that didn't work either. The current was just too strong. I was constantly readjusting my footing so I wouldn't sink. Finally, I just decided to try to scrape it over to more firm ground, and I was eventually able to recover it. And there it is, after all that. Well, unless you're in the one part of the river that's about a foot deep, it's very hard to see things. So I found 4 marbles and a applied color label. I have to research that bottle. I'm going to look around for a few more minutes. If I can't find anything, then I will see you on the cleanup. Just found a fishing reel with a segment of rod. If you know if that was a good type or what kind it is, you could leave that in the comments. Alright, here's part of some vintage electronics. I don't know if that's a slot for an 8-track. It looks like it has a play and a fast forward. I'm guessing that's a possibility, but we'll never know. Well, that looks like a vintage boombox, or the shell of one anyway. I saw what looked like a penny. That's the one to the far left, if you could see that, and then there's a dime and a quarter. Is it worth sticking my non-gloved hand into this 35-degree water? Well, yes it is. So I have to do this quick. Let's see here. Make sure my rake doesn't go away. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, they're all modern. But, you know, it's money, so. Is that a nickel? That might be a nickel. That's a nickel. Oh well. I'll stir this up a little bit more to see if anything else is in this immediate area. Well, let's do that right now. Kind of slosh it around. I think that's all I'm going to find out of that coin spill. Here's the cleanup. I think I'm going to start collecting these little pieces of pottery until I learn more about them. I think that when they have fractures like this through the surface, that's generally a sign of age. This had an interesting rim about it. So we're going to start keeping these, and if I could learn more about it, that'll be good. The coin spill, the interesting thing was the patina. You could see in the recessed areas of this dime, it's a different patina. And then the nickel, of course, it has a dramatic different coloration from being in the river. So that was interesting. This ceramic insulator, I don't have one like this, so I thought I'd keep that one. Out of the 4 marbles, I think this one in the back, this blue one, that's probably the best. They obviously have some river wear. If they come out of a dump, they look a lot cleaner than this, but they're not bad, and I'll add them to my jar. The applied color label, the Cyclo, it says America's leading pre-spotter. And what this is, you get a stain on your laundry, you dump some of this on the stain, wash your clothes, and it removes the stain. And this is from 561 West Monroe Street in Chicago. Industrial chemist since 1876. On the back it had some directions and information, but it says this particular product is since 1927. I've determined this particular bottle to be from about 1943, World War II era. I think the find of the trip was this slick, unembossed vase. And why? I think there's a chance that this could be free blown. And that would put it around 1850 or even earlier. Some of the things that make me believe this are, if you look at this side, it's a lot lower than this side. So it has an unevenness about it. Also, the features of the bottle, they flow. Like right here at the neck, it flows. It's not a sharp angle. It's another indication of free-blown glass. The surface is nice and shiny and smooth. It has same thicknesses in different areas. I found it to be thinner up here and evenly thick around the bottom. There were little imperfections in here. if I can find one of them. Yeah, right there where the light is shining, you see that little bit of debris stuck in the glass. If they were blowing this vase and they were rolling it on wood, it possibly picked up a little bit of debris. And then on the bottom of the glass seemed to be a little uneven, fairly thick, and hopefully you'll be able to see this. Down by the bottom of the base, you see a line that goes straight across. That's some type of tool mark. I'm not sure how it applies to free-blown glass, but it is definitive. When you go over it like this, you could feel that that's a definitive tool mark on there. So if anyone knows about that tool mark, please let me know. So it passes most of the questions that you would ask. I think the number one thing is how it flows and the general unevenness, how it's the rim is a little bit shorter on this side. If that indeed is free blown, then that was worth my trip, and I think that's a pretty decent find. So on a final note, I'm going to close by saying I don't endorse for people that don't have a lot of experience going in the river when it's 19 degrees outside and the water temperature is in the low 30s. If you do, make sure you do your research and you know what you're doing. When the river warms up a little bit, I would say right around 50 degrees, I'll be able to take this 5mm wetsuit and go in there in relative comfort. So I look forward to perhaps in, I don't know, it might be March before the river temperature reaches 50. But as soon as it does, I'll be able to hit those deeper areas that I just can't hit this time of year and snorkel in there. And with the clarity, with some goggles and a snorkel, I'll be able to dig around and find some amazing treasures. So I hope to see you there.